Hey YouTube, it's Mrs. Rains here. I wanted to come at you with a video today specifically about living in a rental. We have been living in a rental apartment, well, I guess you'd say townhouse, for almost 5 years now since we've been in Maryland. And I wanted to talk to you because when we first got this place, it was very like stuck in the 90s. And you can still tell that we have the rental white walls. We opted not to paint in most of the areas, or to just keep the white paint and just make our decor kind of center around that. But there were also rooms that were other colors, that were wild colors. We had a bathroom that was like bright red, and it was really hard to live with. And we started getting to the point where we were like, if we're going to be here, we need to make this our own. So our decor style changed a lot. If you looked at my old videos, you kind of see that I just kind of had a very mishmash look, but now it's a little bit more refined. It's not perfect, don't get me wrong. It's a little more refined than it was. And so I wanted to talk about how we got to this point. So if you're living in a rental, some of these things may help you. Sometimes we don't even think about it, but we're crippled by fear. Like, we don't want to ask, can we do something different to a room or to a place? Because it doesn't feel homey, it doesn't feel like ours. We're afraid to ask. We don't know if we'll be penalized. We want our deposit back, all the above. So in setting out to do this, we decided, this is how we're going to go about it. Well, my husband he was on board, yes, but he just was like busy the entire time. So I could only pull him in for projects when he was able to help. But the kids helped out. It kind of snowballed from there. My mom helped out tremendously, like a lot. So big ups to her. But I wanted to go through the things that you should kind of think about if you have a rental and you'd like to redo some things in your rental. So the first thing I would say the first and second things, the first two things actually go hand in hand, which is talk to your landlord and check your lease agreement. So if you read through your lease agreement, there might be some stipulations or clauses that you hadn't thought of. And talking to your landlord, you can kind of get an idea of where they want to go with the property. Some landlords will be more open than others. Some will allow paint, some won't. Some will allow wallpaper, some won't. Some will allow you to change a fixture as long as you'll put it back before you move out. Some of them are, well, this is an old item. I'm willing to install it if you'll pay for it. There's some things that they're willing to deal with and go back and forth as long as you keep them in the know, and as long as you're forthright and forthcoming with why you want to change it, or what your thoughts are. So those are the first two things. Talk to your landlord and review the lease agreement. Sorry if I keep looking down. I wrote notes and I'm trying to stay on track. The next thing I would say do is paint. Paint makes a big impact. So like in our case, most of the rooms are already very light builder kind of colors. However, the one bathroom, the previous tenant painted it red, and our landlord did not want to repaint it before we moved in. So we just asked, are you married to this red color, or can we paint it? And he was totally on board with us painting it. And we just needed to let him know what kind of paint and what color we were switching to. And I even asked beforehand, am I going to need to paint it back before I leave? And he was like, nope, don't worry about that. It's totally fine. And what I did was I got all of this in writing. And how I did that was by email. You can't go wrong getting it in writing, making sure all parties agree, and actually had a third party witness this agreement because our landlord has a leasing company who kind of handles all of the paperwork. So the email included everyone on it. So I was able to do that knowing full well I had access to these emails if it ever came up in the future. The next thing I would say do, shop your home. So there's a lot of things that decor wise they were in a box, maybe weren't used, and I decided, let me pull these things out. What can I do with them? I used spray paint. I used different things to kind of make different items become something new. If I needed wall decor, I looked at DIYs. What can I do? For instance, you can't see it right now, but this fixture right here above my head is actually a mirror made with paint sticks that I found on Pinterest, and I was able to do that to hang on this wall. And actually, it's meant to match this chair. Maybe move the fur rug, but this chair in a charcoal gray. So I was able to take some new pieces, some old pieces, and put them together. The next thing I would say is shop on a budget. We do not have money to throw around, of course, so we wanted to shop on a budget for things that we spent a little more on the things that matter, like furniture pieces, but we paid a lot less for decor items. Mainly because decor goes out of style. Sometimes you have to switch things out. I don't want to pay, $30 to $40 for a throw pillow when I might change my mind and want a different color in a year, and I will have spent that money and feel kind of obligated to keep that pillow in rotation. So things like that. Just thinking about where you want to spend your money. So I have a list here of the places where I tend to get decor from. This may help you, maybe not, but these are the places I like to shop. So Home Goods, TJ Maxx and Marshalls, Target, Walmart, Dollar Tree, Dollar General, Hobby Lobby, Joann's Fabric. H&M, believe it or not, has a home section, especially online, so take a look at that. Burlington and IKEA was a big one. Obviously, this unit came from IKEA. Thank you, YouTube, because all the gurus have it, and now I have one and I love it. So if you just think about places where you can get the most bang for your dollar, you won't overspend. The next thing is what I like to call decor share. What I mean by that is this. Let's say, so in my house, I have 2 rooms that are similar in color scheme. My family room or living room, whatever you want to call it, and my master bedroom. The colors are very similar. The color palette is very similar. So I'm able to refresh these rooms very often by just moving decor, moving pillows around, switching out accent pieces because the color palettes are very much the same. I also have another section of the house where, things are very similar to, my stepdaughter's room. So I'm able to take things and flip them around back and forth and move things around. We're able to move things around and rotate them enough to make the space look new, but not have to buy a whole lot of new things. So decor share just means buy pieces that you can share from place to place. If I have an entire house and everything is silver, I'm not going to go buy gold pieces because it's going to look out of place in the silver setting. Or if I have things that are, like if I go buy hot pink pillows, I'm not going to be able to put those in my master bedroom because I want to be kind of cognizant that I don't make it too feminine because of my husband. And I also am not going to be able to put hot pink pillows just anywhere. So even when thinking about that, if things are room specific and I can't reuse them or use them someplace else, I have to think of how can I bring them up to date and use them someplace else. If I can't use them now or later in more than one way, then I don't buy it. So another thing is sticking to neutrals. I have neutrals all over the house and I have a few pops of color. So that way, the things that are pops of color, I can put them away and pull out different ones. For instance, I keep talking about decor pillows, but those are the biggest impact. I can put away my everyday pillows and pull out fall pillows or holiday pillows, whatever you want to call it, and have a whole different look for a very little amount of money. And when you think, oh, well, where do I store these things? If you look for furniture pieces that have storage built in, it's perfect. So I have an entry table now that has drawers that I put pillows in all the time, and it works great. The other thing I was going to suggest is try to have fun. If you don't like decorating, then don't go out trying to pick out decor pieces alone. Take a couple of friends that enjoy it. Ask them their opinions. Give them an idea of what you want. Not everybody can afford a home decor guru to come in and do their house for them. So get friends that have spaces that you like to go visit and you like to enjoy. Go on YouTube, get ideas. Go on Pinterest, build a Pinterest board with a plan. Always have a plan. So if you have a plan in mind, you pin some things you like, then you go about the business of finding those items or similar items within your budget to get your room to that style. It doesn't have to be exactly like the picture you pin, but it has to be similar in order for you to be attracted to the room. You want to be comfortable in the room. You want to spend time in the room. You don't want it to feel like a museum. You want it to be livable, cozy, homey, all those good things. You want to feel good about the space. You want to feel comfortable inviting people over and not feel like they're like, ooh, this is weird. You don't want a lot of furniture that all over the place. You don't want, too many curtains, too many this or that. You really have to find a balance that works for you and your space. And the main one I want to talk about, this is the one, I saved it for last because it really is going to make or break your whole project and plan. And that is take your time. I can't stress that one enough. Sometimes I would be at stores and I'd be like, oh my goodness, there's only one left. So like for instance, I learned this very early on because in my office space, I have a chair. I love the chair. I found the chair at Home Goods, I believe. Is it Home Goods? Yes, it was Home Goods. And I love the chair so, so much. I already had a desk at home, but in my excitement about the chair, I did not measure it. I did not pay attention to how tall it was, and it's really too tall for my desk. So then I had to go back and get desk risers, and I was able to get those from a friend, thank goodness, but then I had to put the desk on risers so the chair would fit under it comfortably, if that makes any sense. So I had to learn early on that rushing to buy something because it's the last one in the store or you're never going to find another one like it, I did not pay attention and I needed to. So from that point on, I started measuring things and figuring out, okay, well, I can't get this couch because it's too long for my space, or I can't get this chair because it's too deep for my space. I measured everything to the teeth to make sure there'd still be walking space, to make sure there would be space for opening and closing doors, making sure there's space for just everyday living so that it wouldn't be like there's obstructions in the way or wouldn't be awkward. After doing that with the chair, I realized I needed to take my time. And what I did was I decided room by room, I made a list. What do I need for this room? I decorated one room at a time. I went all through the house, one room at a time, and decided, okay, what does this need? I found that the easiest rooms to come up with were probably the master bedroom, because I had an idea of already what we needed, and the bathroom that the children use. They have the only room left that has not been touched is probably the boys' room, because they don't want anything in there. They like it the way it is, very man cavey, and I haven't touched our master bathroom, and that is probably my plan sometime, over the next couple of months, is to at least put a fresh coat of paint, at least in the powder room area, and at the very least, maybe decide on, am I going to put new towels or maybe some accessories, something, because that's the only other space that has not been touched at all. So yeah, take your time. Don't rush yourself. Don't snap to, let me go ahead and get something because I think it's the last one. Don't feel like you're in a rush to get it done. I know that at some point I was thinking to myself, oh man, I better make sure I have this done before this holiday or that holiday, because if we have people over, I can't have it looking like a construction zone. None of that matters. People will understand. If you know that you have a main space that you entertain in, so for us, that is our living room, our kitchen, our deck in the backyard, and the backyard itself. If you know that, then those are the ones you concentrate on. Don't concentrate on anything else until that part is done. Then work your way up or downstairs as time allows. Don't rush yourself. Don't get ahead of yourself. Don't put pressure on yourself. Take your time. Shop wisely. Wait for deals. Pay attention to the measurements of things. Take a tape measure with you in your purse if you need to, or in your pocket. Take your notebook with all your ideas with you to the store so you can have an idea of things. Take pictures on your cell phone when you go to stores so you can go back and look at it and say, okay, which one of these chairs will fit my space? The other thing is, I know that Home Goods doesn't always have what you want when you want it. Well, here's an idea for you. You are able to put things on hold. So if Target has a chair you want and Home Goods may have a chair you want, go to Home Goods, put that chair on hold, then go to Target and go sit in the chair, lounge around, make sure it's going to be comfortable, something that you can use, and do the same thing at the other store. Make a decision and then go purchase it. Do not buy it on the spot thinking, oh, it's the last one. It's a major pain to bring it all the way home and it doesn't fit your space or something is wrong and you have to take it back. So those are my tips. Good luck to you for even thinking about it. If you clicked on this video, you likely are thinking about redoing your rental on a budget and redoing your rental without breaking your lease agreement. And I think it's a great idea because otherwise it just doesn't feel like home. And we've lived within my marriage, we've probably lived in 5 different houses. And I'm gonna tell you, it's hard to make it feel like home if you don't make it your own space. If you don't paint or do something. And maybe you want to hang fancy curtains. Maybe there's something else that makes it feel comfortable. Whatever that is, do what you have to do to feel comfortable in your own space. So that's all I have for you today. Put God at the head of all you do, and thank you for watching. Bye.